Two quick questions. First of all, last year, roughly around the same time, an encampment was established. State police were present. I have video of a conversation between organizers of the encampment and the state police actively approving, based on a First Amendment status, that encampment. They broke it down on their own volition after they felt they'd met their political gains. What is the state of Rhode Island asserting that is the difference between last year's protest and this year's protest?
As far as we can tell, they claim they've adopted policies, but those policies do not appear in the Code of Rhode Island Regulations, and the Code of Rhode Island Regulations is very specific about how one adopts a policy. You put it out for public comment, you publish it, you hold a hearing on it, and you promulgate them. Or you have an emergency and you put it out, you adopt them, you declare it's an emergency, you have, I think, the governor and the agency sign off on it. It's only good for a limited period of time. Of all branches of the government that should know how to do it, the governor and the occupants of the state house should know how to do that, but they have not done any of that.
And a quick follow-up, and ironically, the state has been demonstrably pretty proactive in establishing emergency orders, regulations, pronouncements, all of that since the onset of the COVID crisis. The state appears to be, and please correct me if I'm wrong, employing some pretty high-priced talent to fight this. Is there a sense of irony, I'll direct this at Mr. Northrup as well, that the state is spending potentially a large amount of money to evict people out into the cold when that money might have been better spent, I don't know, anytime. We've known winter's been coming for a while. It's tradition here, over the last 6 months in preparing for this situation.
So were you listening in on our conversation yesterday? Because I made that same point. Yes, it's the resources that they're putting forward to, I mean, the law, I would respectfully submit, is clear. It's not a slam dunk for us. They can adopt policies if they do it the right way, and they're narrow, and they're not targeted against the most vulnerable people. They can adopt policies, and that will be on a going forward basis. What they can't do is just on an ad hoc basis say, you know, we're not comfortable with you people being there, and get rid of the most vulnerable people. So I don't think there's new law to be established here. We're just trying to enforce existing laws. So the need for the parties to spend so much time in litigation, and the resources of the state, because they do have private counsel doing this, you know, we think could be better spent.
And I apologize.
Homeless.
I apologize for the last question, but this is political, and all things are political in this state. The prevailing story is that the governor was in a rage post Christmas tree lighting about the obvious conflict between fellow Rhode Islanders sitting in pouring rain, torrential, freezing rain, while the swells, if you will, had their party. Do you think this is a case of political expediency? I'll just throw that out there.
You can give that one to Steve.
Don't want to touch that one?